I lost my creativity and I need a mental reset. And most importantly, I am not waking up at 4 a.m. I have zero intentions on eating all of my meals off of a wooden cutting board, let alone that being grass-fed beef with honey drizzled on top. I'm also not abstaining from fun or having new experiences. My vision for a mental reset is to get more aligned, be more creative, be more open, and live a more full life. Not stay at home worrying about seed oils and all the other weird things. Mental diet equals controlled inner speech. So I recently went on a trip to Morocco and I went there, to be honest, to vlog a bit. And I wanted to be more creative and I said I'm in a new environment and I'm just gonna be this explosion of a creative artist and film video. And I didn't do any of that. Why I didn't do that was because my inner speech was still the same. I had created resistance and it followed me wherever I went. Oftentimes when we're trying to do like a diet or a mental diet and change up our mindset, we think that we need to change the environment. As you know, wherever you go, there you are. Can't tell you how frustrating it is that I'm in a whole different place. I'm trying to be someone completely new and the resistance. So I went on this journey to figure out like what is happening inside of my mind that is creating that resistance. And I've come to this understanding that what's happening is self-scaring. Self-scaring is this idea that you have negative definitions, you have negative belief systems that are attached to the future outcome, and when you go to do the thing, you engage in that inner speech and then you scare yourself out. You frighten yourself out of doing the thing. So I'm gonna give you a quick example to explain it. I had bought the Tabby boots a long time ago. You know those boots with the split toes in it? And I was like a little bit self-conscious about it because around me, no one was really like super high fashion. And I was like, yo, I know I'm gonna be so different than anyone else. And I began to conjure up an inner speech that was a little bit timid. So I ended up wearing them out a few days and I'm getting a bunch of compliments, but still remember my inner speech is still like a little bit scared. I'm like, oh, I'm just like almost anticipating someone to like make fun of me. I'm in the bus one day and there's this kid like zooming up on my feet and obviously he's trying to make it into a meme or make it into a joke. And it was so wild that I felt so impacted by that because that incident only confirmed how I secretly felt about myself. The external world literally just confirms the inner speech you're having. After that, I was a little bit hesitant to wear my boots, even though I bought it with the intention to wear it out and I was receiving so much positive feedback, I began to scare myself. And that created hesitation. That hesitation meant that I was wearing the shoes only like once a month. And that is the same thing happening with creative resistance. The example I gave earlier when I went to Morocco, the resistance didn't happen when I began to record a vlog in Morocco. It happened like several months beforehand. I had already hesitated. I had already built up an inner speech where I was constantly doubting myself, saying things like, oh, I can't make this consistent. I've never done this before. Perfectionism. I'm gonna look so goofy and stupid. People are gonna laugh at me. I haven't posted long on YouTube, so what if I post now when I stop again and I keep doing this? And like all this shame and guilt was my internal dialogue. And what that manifests in the real world is inaction. It's procrastination. That's what that inner speech does. It hardens into these acts of never taking action. What's exciting about this was that, yeah, my imagination was hijacked, but there's actually something you can do about it to take back your imagination and actually align it in a way that you draw in your deep creative vision on levels you'll never even understand. Earlier, I made a comment about grass-fed beef, and though I adore eating healthy and it's incredibly important, there's a lot of optimization things that people are recommending, but to me, that's refraining, that's not aligning. When you engage in a mental diet, you're not trying to stop your thoughts, you're trying to align them. Yo, chat, we're about to cook. How I'm going to do a mental reset is actually quite straightforward, and it's simply a two-part formula. This is an idea from Neville Goddard, but I need to first define what the vision is. This helps me give alignment to my inner conversations. What is my definite chief aim, my vision, the thing I'm trying to become, my deepest desire? And then I build a tiny world like that. I build a scene. I'm like, okay, I want to have a bigger YouTube following. I want to be more consistent. I take a lot of inspiration from Virgil Abloh. So I like qualities that he has where he embraces imperfection. He doesn't overthink. He just kind of just does it, being an executor. That's the kind of quality I see in someone who is trying to be a YouTuber. I don't know, I'm not a big YouTuber yet, but those are the kind of things that I envision. Once I have that vision, the second part of the formula is matching the inner speech of that individual who has the wish fulfilled. Individual who's a YouTuber, I need to figure out their mindset. And I need to match my inner conversation so I'm not self-scaring. I'm not scaring myself out of making videos. And this can be applied to literally anything. How do I get that matching inner conversation? It's that I dwell in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, which means that this individual who I'm trying to become, I close my eyes, sit almost in a relaxed meditation, and I begin to visualize and think and feel as though I'm already that person. If you do it a bit and you catch that mood, you'll notice that you'll understand what the psyche of that individual is. You'll get a feeling of relief, but you'll also get a feeling of, wow, I need to do this, I need to do that. And it'll be very empowering because you already are that individual. And that's like the mindset shift. And I'll explain later why this is mentally resetting and everything else is just quibbles. It's just like things not actually getting to the core of your creativity. When you are in this state of like realizing and feeling that individual who you want to be, we don't think of it, we think from it. I'm this individual, I have this massive following, or I'm a professor and I have a bunch of students and I need to keep on track of my research and I need to get things out. And those are the kind of ideas that will begin to conjure up into your mind. If you spent a lot of your time in creative resistance and being afraid, you're not thinking like this. Your inner speech is more so, people might judge me. People might make fun of me. What if I fail? It's more based around survival. By going into the wish fulfilled, not thinking of, but thinking from the person who you're trying to be, you begin to alter those inner speeches inside of you. And by doing that, you begin to see opportunity. You begin to see possibility. You color your world through your vision. And that's what's gonna allow you to begin to do the creative act, because we're now seeing the world from the way we want to see it. You are now a creator of your reality. You will notice that you will slip back into your former self of being scared, being afraid, and it's in those moments where faith is important. But I think faith comes naturally when you consistently dwell in the fact that you are already the individual who you're trying to be. Now, the easiest question here is, well, that's kind of fake. Well, think about this. Me scaring myself out of not wearing the tabby boots, that was fake. That was an imaginary evil. Made a scene up in my head that people were gonna laugh at me, even though the evidence was to the contrary. And then I had a super tiny incident and I made it such a massive imaginary evil. I scared myself out of being my most authentic creative self. But when we do a mental diet, it's not that we're stopping our thoughts, because that never happens as well. Napoleon Hill says that all empty spaces are like a vacuum, and the law of entropy means that it's naturally going to go negative. So you insert your creative vision, the wish fulfilled, being the individual who you want to be, and you insert that into your mind and you let that steer the command of your inner speech.